Friends, before you scroll past this, just give me a moment. Not because you have to, but because something in you might need this. In the next few minutes, I want to gently explore something we rarely talk about: the quiet space behind the smiles. The part of us that keeps saying, "I'm fine," even when something inside feels heavy. You don't have to stay if this doesn't speak to you. But if it does, maybe let yourself listen all the way through. Because this isn't about fixing you. It's about understanding what you've been carrying, often without anyone noticing. And maybe by the end of this, you'll feel a little less alone in it. There's something strange about the way life can feel full and empty at the same time. You can be surrounded by people, by noise, by movement, and still feel alone in it. You smile when it's expected. You answer the questions the right way. You move through your days like everything is under control. And from the outside, it looks like it is. But inside, there's a quiet distance, a sense that you're present, but not fully here, like you're participating in life without really touching it. You listen to others. You respond with care. You become someone who's easy to be around. And slowly, you learn how to take up less space emotionally. Not because you don't want to be honest, but because honesty doesn't always feel safe. Because being open sometimes feels like asking for too much. So you adjust. You soften your edges. You keep parts of yourself tucked away. And over time, that becomes normal. Not because you're pretending, but because staying connected often feels easier than being fully seen. At some point, you stop asking yourself what you need. You start asking what will keep the peace, what will make things easier, what will stop people from pulling away. You learn how to read the room before you speak, how to adjust your tone, how to soften your truth so it doesn't make anyone uncomfortable. And maybe no one ever asked you to do this. Maybe you just learned it, slowly, quietly, over time. You became the one who listens, the one who understands, the one who says, "It's okay, I'm fine," even when you're not. And somewhere along the way, you forgot what it feels like to be fully honest without explaining yourself. To say what hurts without adding a smile at the end. You tell yourself it's not that deep, that others have it worse, that you should be grateful. But late at night, when everything goes quiet, you feel it, that soft ache of being unseen. Not unloved, just unknown. And maybe that's the part that hurts the most. At some point, something shifts. Not loudly, not all at once. You start noticing the weight you've been carrying, the way your chest tightens when you say, "I'm okay," too quickly. The way you disappear a little every time you choose peace over truth. And for the first time, you don't judge yourself for it. You just notice. You realize you've been surviving on autopilot, doing what needs to be done, showing up, holding it together. But beneath that strength, there's a quiet tiredness. Not the kind sleep fixes, the kind that comes from being unseen for too long. And instead of pushing it away, you pause. You let the feeling exist without labeling it as weakness. You stop telling yourself to just be stronger. You start wondering, what if this heaviness is trying to tell me something? Not that you're broken, but that you've been carrying more than anyone ever noticed. And maybe, just maybe, this awareness isn't the beginning of falling apart, but the beginning of coming back to yourself. Maybe this is where things begin to soften. Not because everything suddenly makes sense, but because you stop blaming yourself for not having it all figured out. You start to see that you weren't weak. You were adapting, doing the best you could with what you had at the time. And instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" you begin to ask, "What have I been carrying alone?" That shift is quiet, but powerful. You start letting yourself be honest, not in a dramatic way, but in small, private moments. Admitting when you're tired, when you're overwhelmed, when something hurts more than you pretend it does. You don't rush to fix it. You don't shame yourself for feeling it. You simply acknowledge it. And somehow that honesty creates space. Space to breathe, space to soften, space to feel without fear of falling apart. You begin to understand that self-awareness isn't about judging your flaws. It's about meeting yourself with compassion. Not forcing healing, but allowing it to happen slowly in its own time. And in that gentleness, you start to feel something new. Relief. Because for the first time, you're not fighting yourself anymore. At some point, something shifts. Not loudly, not all at once. It's more like a quiet understanding settling in, that you don't have to keep bracing yourself all the time. You begin to realize that rest isn't weakness, that softness isn't failure, that needing comfort doesn't mean you're broken. You start allowing moments to simply be gentle. Moments where you don't have to prove anything, where you don't have to explain your worth, where you're not performing strength just to survive the day. And in those moments, something inside you exhales. You notice how much you've been carrying. The expectations, the self-doubt, the pressure to be okay. And instead of pushing it away, you let yourself feel the weight without judgment. You begin to understand that healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about coming back to who you were before you learned to hide. There's a quiet safety in that realization. A sense that you're allowed to take up space. Not loudly, not perfectly, but honestly. And maybe for the first time in a long while, you don't feel like you're chasing peace. Something begins to change when you stop carrying everything alone. Not because the weight disappears, but because you stop believing you have to hold it all by yourself. You start to notice that being seen doesn't always mean being exposed. It doesn't mean spilling everything or having the perfect words. Sometimes it's just letting someone notice the pause in your voice, the hesitation before you answer, the truth behind your "I'm fine." You begin to understand that connection doesn't demand perfection. It asks for presence, for honesty that's quiet, imperfect, and real. And slowly, you allow yourself to be met, not fixed, not analyzed, not rushed, just met, exactly where you are. There's a different kind of safety in that. A warmth that comes from realizing you don't have to be fully healed to be worthy of closeness. You can be in progress. You can still be learning how to trust. You can still carry questions instead of answers. And yet, someone can sit beside you in that space. That's when connection stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like permission. Permission to show up as you are. Permission to be human. Together. There's a quiet strength in staying, not fixing, not escaping, just staying with yourself, even when it feels uncomfortable. You don't have to rush toward healing. You don't have to turn every feeling into a lesson. Sometimes the most caring thing you can do is simply allow the moment to exist as it is. You've spent so much time trying to hold everything together, trying to be okay for others, trying to make sense of things before you were ready. But it's okay to pause, to rest inside the uncertainty, to admit that you don't have all the answers yet. You're allowed to move slowly, to change your mind, to take up space without explaining why. And maybe in these quiet moments of staying, you begin to feel something soften inside you. Not because everything is solved, but because you're no longer running from yourself. You're here. You're present. And for now, that is enough. There's something quiet but powerful about the fact that you're still here, still listening, still present. You didn't have to stay. You could have scrolled away. You could have filled the silence with noise, distraction, anything else, but you didn't. And maybe that says something about you, about the part of you that still hopes to feel understood, the part that's tired but not closed, the part that's been carrying so much, quietly, for a long time. You don't have to figure everything out tonight. You don't have to suddenly feel healed, confident, or certain. You don't need answers right now. You just need to be here, breathing, existing, enough as you are. There will be days when the loneliness comes back, when the noise gets loud again, when you wonder if anyone truly sees you. When that happens, remember this moment. Remember that somewhere, someone chose to speak gently to the part of you that usually goes unnoticed. Maybe that's what this space is meant to be. A quiet place you can return to. A pause. A reminder that you're not strange for feeling deeply. That you're not weak for wanting connection. You don't have to rush forward. You don't have to have it all together. Just keep showing up. One breath at a time. We'll be right here with you. Until next time, take care of yourself.